Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and this video is going to be a Dragonheir Legendary tier list, kind of going over my first thoughts of seeing the kits in action. Now, sorry for the lack of uploads the last week or two. It's been crazy, as always. I just had a trip to California to see Activision Blizzard's campus, and that was an incredible experience. Got to see people like Darth Microtransaction and Layla Fox and a bunch of other creators from different games and different communities, and be able to see kind of those massive character statues in person. And I'm going to get a video out here on the channel talking about that trip and showing you the pictures and the experiences, and then talking about what I learned by seeing the internal workings of Activision Blizzard and seeing their campus. So lots of fun and exciting stuff going on in gaming right now and here on the channel. And I apologize for being busy the last week or two, but we've got to get into this one. What I did was I went through live on stream and I just kind of did like a first impressions of most of the legendaries here and going through what I think about the potential on their kit. Now, Dragonheir is obviously a new game, so I haven't been able to test these champions for thousands of hours yet. So you have to take everything here like a tier list with a grain of salt, obviously, because this is going to be for entertainment. This is just throwing my opinion out there based on a first impression. Are these grades going to change? Yes. Are you going to disagree with some of them? Yes. It's just kind of an opportunity to compare my first gut reaction to kits and then what other people out there think as well, so you can get a more accurate representation of maybe how to feel about some of these champions in the game compared to each other. And what I did when I was live on stream, I just kind of laid this out super simple. We put the name, the element, the rarity, and then I just rated them kind of 1 to 100 in terms of how I felt about the potential of their kit, how excited I would be to summon them if I looked at them as a first gut reaction. I've been covering games on YouTube for almost 16 years. I've played about every gacha game out there. I've done hundreds, maybe even thousands of tier lists over the years. So I have a little bit of a feel for how these abilities usually function in game, and hopefully a decent way of getting a first reaction out there about how these kits kind of read, just based on seeing thousands and thousands of them over the years. But yeah, the full VOD was over on Twitch, and I went through for 2 or 3 hours and just kind of read all the kits out loud and then rated them from 1 to 100 in terms of a first reaction. So I'll go over the top 5 or so and just let you know why they graded out the best in terms of a first impression. So first up, we've got Tamar. And Tamar is going to be the lightning element support right down here. And we've got a captain ability of increasing ally accuracy by 65 in the gladiator arena. And then also cast lightning strike on the enemy whenever they gain a buff. So you get kind of passive value there. You love that, to just do more and more damage whenever they get a buff, and a 30% chance of dispelling buff from the enemy. Now, in these kind of RPG gacha games, buff manipulation, speed manipulation, turn meter, all of that stuff is always ridiculously strong. Either you're going to be dispelling buffs like this, or you're going to be blocking debuffs, or you're going to be blocking buffs on your opponents. Things like that are always incredibly strong to have within your team, and to get just passive value of dispelling buffs is going to be completely broken. Then for the other abilities, you've got Unleash Forced Lightning to enemies within range, and you're also getting attack penalty too. So going to be great for progression to keep the toughness capabilities strong within your team. And then we've got Unleash Powerful Lightning Storm, and we're doing the full board of damage there with buff prohibition. I mean, that's double buff manipulation, and then also we've got a chance to do some CC by inflicting stun. So there's really just nothing to not like about Tamar's kit. And when I was going through kind of comparing all of the different kits and how they function and how they read, this one really stood out to me, so she ended up with the top grade there of a 90. And then this next one, oh geez, I am worldwide heralded for my ability, or lack thereof, to say names properly. I'm gonna go with like Kyrisos or Chrysos, however you say this guy's name. The Scorching Shaman defense champion here has an incredibly crazy tank kit. So the passive is going to be whenever the hero's shield is depleted or dispelled or vanishes, 50% of the shield are consumed and will be converted into healing. So it's always nice to be able to turn something negative into a positive. So if that thing does get dispelled or something, you're going to at least convert it into healing. Great self-sustain ability there for a tank. We got the 3 holy fire attacks that deal fire damage to enemies and then also dispel a buff from them. We talked about why that's so amazing. And then we're going to grant a shield to the ally with the lowest HP HP. Again, in these games, anytime you can target something passively to where it's going to be crucial and where it's going to be needed, like shield on a random ally would be a lot worse than shield on the ally with the lowest HP, for example. And he does have that version of shield on the ally with the lowest HP, so a great ability there. And then we're going to dispel all enemy shields and deal damage to them and inflict attack penalty 2, and then grant shield to each ally for 10 seconds. So that ability for the whole map and what it's bringing in terms of manipulating different things is completely ridiculous. So his kit is one of the best in the game in terms of a first impression when I'm reading them all, and he graded out as an 88. But that same grade of an 88 was Lucian right here. We've got the Frost Wings of Dawn with a captain ability that's going to increase all ally HP by 45%. Big HP buff there in the Gladiator Arena. And then grant a shield to each ally for 10 seconds as the battle starts. Again, things that are going to be super consistent and just happen passively at the start of a battle with no cooldown or anything are going to be great things to bring to your team. And then any ally under this shield gains control immunity and is immune to ultimate energy reduction effects by enemies. So that is an incredible thing to get at the start of a battle there for your team. The next disability right here, we get charged towards the enemy with the lowest ult energy and deal cold damage to them and inflict frozen. CC is always nice to have. And then we're also going to deal more cold damage to enemies within range. And then we talked about how inflicting the recharging speed penalty is going to be great to bring. You always want speed manipulation, buff manipulation, ultimate energy, turn meter. That type of stuff is going to be great to inflict on your opponents. And then we have a poison legendary right here in Tower with a captain effect of increasing all ally accuracy by 65. You always want to be making sure you're getting enough accuracy to actually inflict those impactful debuffs you're trying to get on the enemy team. So great captain aura there. And then you have a passive here of each debuff on enemies on the whole field is going to give 2% damage reduction to this hero, and the effect stacks up to 10 times. So really going to have a lot of self-sustain there with the passive. And then you have an ability to plant mushrooms around the enemies, which will taunt enemies within range. And then when the mushroom dies, it deals derivative poison damage to the enemies within range, and that's going to get you stacks of poison there while also inflicting blind. So a lot of stuff just kind of going on there with those planting of mushrooms around your enemies can be a lot of fun. And then we're going to cast a spore cloud that exists for 4 seconds, dealing the derivative poison and damage to enemies within range. And then I love this, you get the 2 different accuracy penalty 2 and then also the attack penalty 2. So not only the self-sustain and a little bit of damage and random stuff going on all over, but you also get 2 crucial debuffs on your enemies. You get a lot of accuracy swing right there while bringing the captain aura to increase your team's accuracy, and then also the accuracy penalty 2 on enemies that are under poison. And actually, no, the under poison part is just going to be for the attack penalty. You're going to be getting the accuracy penalty no matter what. Sorry, I misspoke there for a little bit. But as long as they're under poison, which should be pretty consistent with a poison champion within a poison team, and then also having the different mushrooms all over the place, you should be able to proc both those debuffs pretty consistently. And then rounding out the top 5, we have got the Defense Acilia right here with the Captain aura of increasing all ally resistance in the Gladiator Arena with a passive of for each debuff dispelled or resisted, gain a stack of Oathkeeper's Glory, which is going to increase healing by 3%. And then we're going to heal all allies within range. Right there, we're going to be helping all of your tanks or anybody that jumps in the back line to get a target, going to help them sustain and win that 1v1. And then right here, this is the one that is going to be completely ridiculous. You've got the full map right there of dispel all debuffs on all allies and grant debuff immunity for 10 seconds. But not only that, we're going to then cast a spell to heal all allies for every half a second for 5 seconds. And that's actually amazing. It's a lot better than just a big burst heal because you're not wasting overheal. It's going to be sustain instead of a burst, which means you will get a lot more consistent value out of that ability. So that is going to be one of the best abilities in the game to just do the wipe cleanse of all debuffs and then also grant the immunity and then also grant sustain that the passive right here is going to be buffing for each debuff dispelled or resisted because of gaining those stacks of the Oathkeeper's Glory. So completely ridiculous, and really I don't need to do much playtesting at all to know that this ability is going to be completely ridiculous, this Holy Light Dissension. And again, that's why if you were wanting to do a more perfect tier list, you would need to break down almost like each ability and where it ranks in the different areas of the game and stuff like that. Because for something like PvP, this is going to be completely like S plus double S tier or whatever, and going to be an incredible ability. So I didn't want to leave her out of a top 5 list, high rank tier list like this. And there we have it. Let me know down below where you agree or disagree. And I will probably do one talking about some of the top epics as well and go through and grade all of them. We might do that live over on the Twitch stream. I always link down below if you want to head on over and follow on Twitch. And then as always, remember to subscribe down below if you enjoy gaming content like guides and tier lists and videos like this. I appreciate you. I will see you soon in the next video. Peace.